Good morning, everyone. On the occasion of National Doctors Day, AIIMS Jodhpur is organizing a CME, a continued medical education program, on the topic of drone delivery in healthcare, hype or hope. This activity is being organized under the aegis of the state chapter, Rajasthan state chapter of the National Academy of Medical Sciences. And I welcome all of you on the behalf of the state chapter of National Academy of Medical Sciences to this CME. I request now our Dean sir, Professor Kuldeep Singh sir, to kindly give a few words of wisdom. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, and on behalf of National Academy of Medical Sciences State Chapter Rajasthan and All India Institute of Medical Sciences Jodhpur, I wish you all a very happy National Doctors Day. And since doctors are the most important pillar of the society, as the healthy society means a more productive and economically better society, so doctors have a very important role. But in this era of healthcare, there are many challenges, and sometimes there is a need for task shifting the task to the lower level for some of the routine work. Here comes the role of the technology, and we know that the technology can be used in many ways uh, to not only screen the people, prevent the disease, also disseminate the education information, but also the main purpose of the technology is to reach the people who cannot be reached. That is the people who can be reached through the technology in the remotest area where the doctors have difficulty in reaching or the specialists have difficulty in reaching. Here comes a very important technology which is now upcoming, being experimented at many places. So today, as part of this CME, which is a very small short CME, we are going to discuss the role of the drone and whether the drones are really helpful for our society or it is just an hype which is created out of curiosity of the people or the startups. So this we are going to deliberate with two very important speaker, Dr. Jayant from IIT Jodhpur and Dr. Pradeep Dwivedi from AIIMS Jodhpur. So I think this is a very small CME, but it will give a lot of ideas and the informations that how we can use the technology as our slave. So, with these words, I again wish you all a very happy Doctor's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. And now I'll introduce the speakers for this CME. The first speaker is Dr. Jayant Kumar Mohanta. Dr. Jayant is an assistant professor of mechanical engineering at IIT Jodhpur. Sir has multiple publications to his credits and has many patents and innovations. That is there. Sir is actively involved in the area of research in the field of mechanical engineering, and this is very well evident from his research profile. So may I now request Dr. Jain to kindly address the gathering. Thank you, sir.
So, good morning, everyone. So, on the occasion of National Doctors Day, thank you for inviting me. And a very relevant topic, like how drones can be used for um, in the delivery services and healthcare. So, drone technology is there from from the last decade, but gradually now it is being accepted with the people. Earlier days, the drone was only in the labs. Now we want to take it to public. So, and why we should not use it in something which is very important, that is healthcare. Once I was in Germany, and I saw that there was a patient um, in a hospital, and it he and he need a specialist doctor. So in Germany, they have helicopter systems. So every hospital has a helipad. So the specialist was brought immediately through the helicopters, or sometimes the patient are also being transported through helicopters. So right now, that is not the case in India, but at least if there is where there is no reach, we can reach through our technology, that is through medicines or through doctors consultancy. or through different, at least we can connect to those people through drones. So now already we have connectivity in terms of a network. We have 4G now. Uh, in just in a very short interval, we may get the 5G also. The connectivity, the communication is there, but physical delivery of items is also very, very important. So drones are something which can physically deliver something to a distant place. And these drones are uh, important in terms of delivering the physical things into a certain place. So what can be these physical things that we call payload in technical terms? And I think further what is possible, we'll try to look in our presentation. So why we are thinking of taking these drones into the medical field or in healthcare field? Because what they can do is they can avoid the road traffic. So maybe in Jodhpur it's not a problem that the traffic is there, but a city like Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai, the traffic is a big problem. In the morning, you may travel in 20 minutes. In the evening, it may take you 1.5 hours, the same distance. So that's not the same case when you want to deliver something which is very, very urgent, maybe medicine or blood to a distant place. So the drones has a capability to avoid those road traffic. That is one of the very important thing, that we want to use drones to avoid the delay due to the traffic or due to the road. The road has a lot of restriction also. Suppose there is a cricket match on a particular day, so the road will be overcrowded and there will be restrictions in the routes also. Or some political rally, so there will be restrictions. Or some visit of very an important person, so there will be restrictions on the road. So, but the drone will be independent of these few restriction on the of the roads. So that is the advantage when we are using a drone. Also, there is no human driver uh, on board, but there is a human driver who is at the base station from where it is being driven. Then also it has an ability to reach in difficult terrains. Now difficult terrains means, suppose we have a landslide and the road traffic is blocked, still our drones can reach to the other side and deliver required medicines uh, and necessary things, and bring back important things which we need. So those things also can be done. And yes, they are economic in long run. If there is a big scale of need, then definitely the cost per travel reduces. So now this drone technology has some challenges also, because of which still we are not having it on the field. You might be thinking, from last 10 years drones are there, we are taking photography using drones, but still we are not using in our day-to-day transportation. So why it's not? Just try to look what is the problem. It has a high investment value. One drone, the individual drones cost high, and yes, it needs some level of technically skilled person to operate drones. And still there are, like, we have driving schools. We If you don't know driving, you can go to a driving school, learn a four-wheeler, two-wheeler also. So these things you can learn, but there is no practice, or there is nothing called institute for training you in drone. So there are no teaching school of drone, or which you can drive, which can teach you to how to drive or operate a drone. So only those who are interested, they try to learn it as a hobby, and only those people you are having, those who have voluntarily try to use the drone for their own purpose and try to get skilled into that technology. Now, there is another problem when you have lots of drones flying in air. Now you need a traffic control, because there may be a possibility of collision. In planes it's a must, but in drones it is little bit possible to have some relaxation in terms of, because the drone can hover in air, means if there is a danger, it can hover at one place, unlike the airlines. There are some restrictions that drone cannot fly over certain places. So that is there, and yes, it has a risk of getting stolen. So all these risks are there, and these are the operational challenges because of which still we are unable to bring the drone technology into the field. Now, there are some limitation of the equipment itself. What are those? They are like they're limited battery life. Like once you charge the drone, the big size drone I'm talking about, the small size drones are having a battery life of some 20-30 minutes. The big size drone has some 1 hour maybe, and if you take the large drones, the large category drones, then they have 5 hours, 3 hours, such battery life. So large size drones are very costly, only used for very specific purpose, and only if you have a commercial value, one would like to buy it. Then we have flight duration is dependent on wind direction. Now, wind direction, suppose we have a wind towards east, and if you have to travel towards west, then definitely uh, you have to invest more amount of energy into flying against the wind, and it decreases the speed, also take more time, but certainly while coming back the same wind, if doesn't change its direction, will help. So if so those things are dependent, the flight duration, the battery consumption, they are somewhat wind dependent also. And we have no, like we have petrol pumps for vehicles, so we don't have any charging stations for the drones. So still, the infrastructure wise, the drone cannot go to very high, very long distance travel and charging itself whenever get discharged. That facility is not there. Like e-vehicles are coming up now, so we are expecting that in some time the drones also will get some charging facility in midway, the way e-vehicles. But although the charging takes time, that is the another limitation. Also, you don't have you cannot put unlimited payload also. There's a limit to it. The payload has limits. For a drone, it has a particular payload capacity, by taking which it can fly. So with all this limitation and challenges, what is the possibility that we can bring this drone technology into healthcare? There are a few more challenges we call safety challenges. Safety of the drone. So where is the problem? There's a possibility that drone may crash, and it has happened also. Amazon, they tried delivering their goods through drone because that will improve their speed, like same day delivery, within 3 hour delivery, and those things will be served by the drones. But what happened is there is a lot of complaints that few of the drone get lost or crashed. They tried. They did in the trial itself. There are few drones which crashed, and when it crashed, and one of them caught fire also when it hit the ground. So now it may happen that it may catch fire, and it may fall on something also. It may fall on human being also. It may fall on a car also. So which may create further casualties. So those things also need to be taken care, that they are safe to drive, the drone safety. Now what can be a possibility that why a drone may crash? There can be some failure in the system, internal failure, or there can be external thing, like there may be bird hit. There are bird, there's a the flock of birds are flying and the drone is passing by, and some bird has, like the eagles, vultures, they are like they may hit the drone knowingly. The small birds may try to avoid it, but the big birds may try to hit it also. So the bird hit can cause some kind of safety challenge for the drone. And sometimes in India, the scenario is a bit different. So you may get even kids playing with gulal. They may try to hit the drone. That's a drone flying, and let's chase it. So there in India, it may be these kind of cases also may come, that some may try to throw stone over them, some may try to drop them so that they can pick it up. So this may happen. So now with all these challenges, we want to implement this technology. So now we have to work out. So it's not that the road is faulty, so we'll stop driving on the road. No, we'll manage we'll make a way how to ride on the road. So since we have all these challenges, how to move forward with all these challenges? So still, and the technology is we are gradually we are developing the technology also. This photo, what you can see is a solar powered drone charging station. So this block, if you put anywhere in a safe zone, the drone can land over it. There's a central, in the center there are some QR codes, seeing which it can land at that particular location, and it can charge itself in these stations autonomously. There is a plug, the drone can plug itself into the charger. So in this way, what can be done is the drones can be charged intermittently in the midway. So these can be put if we have a long distance plan of we want to travel long distance and we want to charge our drone. So we only have to put all these charging stations as per requirement. And these charging stations can be at the base station and at the target station also. Base station will definitely can install. Base station has another advantage that it has a base electricity, and this solar powered is all powered station are also for the places where you don't have electrical reach or electricity reach. For example, in the mid of a mountain or in a mid of a desert where you don't have the government electricity reaching out there, so you need such kind of thing which can autonomously charge a drone, because the requirement can be at any place. So such charging stations are coming up. Looking at the top three drones in the world, so these are the top three drones. I have not taken other drones which are having mission time of only 20 minutes. 20-30 minutes will not be sufficient for delivering a good. And or else, how most of you might be familiar with Ramayana. It should not happen like with Angad. He told that, if I jump to Lanka, I will not be able to come back. So our drone should come back. It should not happen that our drone went to the place, delivered the good, and should not able to come back. It should be able to complete the mission by coming back to our station. Or it should able to land properly, get charged itself, and then come back. So so mission time should be sufficient enough that it get good amount of time to go and come back, or go stay there, get charged itself, and then come back. So there are top three drones that are commercially available and non-military grade. Military grade drones are different. They are for missile. They are having high mission time, and they are almost like a planes. So, but for commercial one, which can carry payloads, the highest time is available is 600 minutes, around 5 hours, and with it you can control it within a range of 100 or 200 based on the deployed system into it. Max speed it can reach up to 90 kilometers per hour. So this is a hybrid drone. This word hybrid means it uses battery current as well as it uses some kind of fuel, which they call gasoline. Okay, so and gasoline fuel plus battery, both. It uses both. For regular driving, it uses gasoline, and for control actions, for other things, it uses battery. So maximum takeoff weight is 10 kg. Okay, but there is a heavy drone which can similar drone, but it can take higher payload. That is 31 kg. In the second one, you can see it is able to take 31 kg load. So it's a big drone, but the speed is limiting up to 80 kilometers per hour, and the mission time is only 330 minutes, around 5 hours 30 minutes, and the previous one was 10 hours. So these drones are something cost also high, 15 to 20 lakhs based on the configuration you are choosing. The DJI Matrix, this drone you can get for some 2 to 3 lakhs based on the dollar pricing. And this drone has a mission time of 55 minutes, control range of 15 kilometers. 15 kilometers doesn't mean that it cannot go beyond 15 kilometers, but you can control through your base station, that is 15 kilometers. But if the drone is satellite based, then it can go beyond the capacity of the base station. Maximum speed is also 82.8 kilometers per hour. and weight it can take is 3.6 kg. So these are the few top three drones I'm talking about. Top three drones. It can take this many payloads. This is the maximum duration it can work for. These are the maximum speed it can operate. This ranges for from the base station. So certainly nowadays the 4G technology is coming up. So because of which we may extend it to any, and GPS and mobile technology is available everywhere. So we can also extend and increase its range. So that is a possibility. Now, what will happen if we try to implement these technology? So for point-to-point delivery, it's very simple. It's very simple. We need to have a drone, which is starting from our base station, and a remote place. That remote place has need an urgent delivery of, say, blood or medicine or something related to the medical. So there we have our people. Here we have our people. So the drone knows to whom to deliver. So there's no possibility that it will go into some other hands. So best thing is to take vertical takeoff. The good thing about it can take vertical takeoff, gain certain height, travel the distance, and then come down so that it is away from the reach of the public should not be able to reach it. So vertical takeoff to a certain height, ascent, and then straight line travel to the target and then descent. So this can be the one strategic delivery from point to point. Now, if we don't have something called charging panel at the delivery point, so what are the possibilities? So if we don't have something to deliver, we enable to charge our device there. So our device can be working as a delivery agent. It will start from one point, fly high, reach to that, and come back. And while reaching there, it can use something called airdrop facility. So airdrop, you might be knowing, whenever any goods are dropped from very high, especially from the airplanes, what they do, they use a parachute and drop the payload with the parachute. Another way is use a net. The drones are good at manipulation. It can calculate, it can target, and it can leave the payload on the given net provided. So these are some effective way where you can easily deliver your goods. And sometimes you may be handling uh, maybe very delicate items which you may not be able to drop. So then there is a possibility that we can land it on the surface, leave the load, and then come back. So with all these possibilities, there is a way which we can deliver the goods to the target point. Okay, now if we have charging stations, for example, we have charging station and we have a regular service of drone. Regular service means morning 10 o'clock, the drone will take off from station A, reach at 10:15 at certain place, 10:30 at certain place, 10:45, and they know the timing. The drone will take off in the morning, whatever you want to give in the morning, which is not, so you can give it in the morning, and then in the evening again at 5 o'clock the drone will take off from here, 5:15 from here, 5:30 from here, and finally 7 o'clock it will come back. So if there is a cycle that every morning and every evening there is a drone service which will be going, so any important thing which you want to transport, you can use this drone facility. So if such facilities are there we can use drone charging stations, and there is a regular facility going on throughout the city with the drones. And now this is reliable, non-dependent on traffic, timely delivering all the goods, and also charging itself technically, and working as per the autonomous mode. Because this kind of system can work in autonomous mode, because you know the targets. So drone doesn't need a pilot in this kind of operations. When it knows where to land and where to start from, then drone doesn't need a pilot. But when it doesn't know, then one manual operator need to operate the drone. So such thing can be done autonomously. The drone, only you need to give a start command to the drone. Whenever you give a start command to the drone, it will execute the rest of the task. So that is on trigger. So such thing is possible, that you have a regular service of the drone within the city with important points of the important like healthcare points. For example, there is a drug delivery station, there is a blood donation, or the blood bank is there, and there are some health centers within that location. So those things can be connected via drone to the main hospital. So thus these things can be done. So what are the common failures which generally drone experience is called GPS. You might be knowing, global positioning system, available in your mobile as well. So these can have some kind of failure that it doesn't give a proper location. So then such thing can be need to be monitored. There is a possibility of motor failure. So motors need to be checked after every flight. Then battery issue. There's a possibility that one battery start not getting charging, not getting charged. Battery has a life 10,000 cycles or 8,000 cycles. After some time, the battery may not get charged also. So those things need to be checked. And propellers, sometimes the propeller may get damaged. There is a rain, there is a bird head or something. So propellers may get damaged. Camera or gimbal, camera, for landing autonomously, you need camera. And whether you have delivered the goods or not, you need a camera. So some information you need vision input. So these are the camera. If camera get failed, then some functionalities may not work. Wi-Fi or radio interference. So yes, it works on wireless technology. So other wireless technology may affect. There are jammers. Like nowadays, what happened in a photography? If you enter in a no flying zone where you have jammers, you may lose your bird. You may lose it. How? It reaches to a given point and it loses connection from the base controller, from your remote controller. It loses its connection where you have jammers. So it has a effect. It radio interference and Wi-Fi can interfere. Then we have firmware or software bugs, that there may be possibility that your software may have some kind of bugs. Like sometimes you get viruses in your laptop or computer. Similarly, this works on software, so the software may also get some bugs. It is not very common, but yes, there is a possibility that suppose you load a program, while loading and unloading a program, it may happen. Overheating, if the drone is continuously working throughout the day, yes, it's a machine, so it needs a cooling time also. That after certain mission, it should be able to get some rest. Sensor errors. Okay, there is a direction sensor, there is a altitude sensor, there is a height sensor, there are GPS. So these sensors may get some error. Error means the value is X, but it is showing X plus delta X, or means I should get, say, for example, I am at a height of 10 meters. It should show 10 meters, but it is showing 11 meters. So this is called error. Means the sensor is showing something, but that value is having error. Then connection loss. If it loses connection, then what? We don't know. We have to find it manually and then see what has happened to our system, why it has lost the connection. Recently, this underwater submarine, which went to see the Titanic, has lost its connection. After that, they don't know what happened. They found that it has damaged. So initially, the first report was connection loss. So if the drone loses its connection, then we have to think. So all this thing must be taken care by an operator called drone operator. When somebody knows about all these things and operate the drone, called drone operator. Now look at its economic value. The first DJI drone I told, 2 to 3 lakhs, medium-sized drones. If you want to charge it fully, it will take 4.8 units of electricity. And depending on your city, and if I consider 14 rupees per unit, which is at the higher side, then it will cost you someone from 70 rupees for 50 kilometers. So my calculation is little wrong. 1.5 will be too much. But yes, 70 to 80 rupees it may cost, some battery inefficiency to make a mission of 50 kilometers. And the big drones, they use gasoline plus battery. So they will charge some 2 to 3 rupees per kilometer. So I think which is the cost of your bike, but still less than an ambulance. Ambulance also may cost 15 to 25 lakhs based on what kind of ambulance you are purchasing. or maybe more also, the high grade ambulances. But if you are going to use ambulance to deliver everything, then what will happen? The cost per unit will be high. So this is almost a charge of a bike ride, like if you are delivering something on bike, but yes, much faster and on time. This technology, the good thing about is scalability. If you have more demand, you can purchase more drones, and you can increase the service facility. Also, the same model you can multiply, or you can implement on other cities also. That is the advantage. If you one drone station will be sufficient for the complete city. One good thing about is the government is making favorable rules, and one of the rule is that you cannot import drone, but you can import all the parts, and you can make drone here. So when you have manufacturer within the country, that you can import parts, not the drone. So you have to manufacture drone within the country. So now you have expertise that people can repair it, make all the parts available, and maintain it, and provide support, all those things. So, and government is also encouraging. So that's an advantage. Quickly, I will cover the framework, the government made rules. I have said very little time left, but yes, this is there are few interesting things that government has proposed. What is that? That you have to do registration for each drone in 2021. Anything above 250 grams. What is that? Photography drones are less than 250 grams, which are used in marriages or any function, no, for photography. So they are less than 250 grams. There are different categories of registration, like nano, micro, small, medium, and large. So they are depend on the size of the drone. Nano is something which is less than 250 grams. So that doesn't need registration, but rest all the drones need registration. Operator permit. Now here comes the permit. So you have to operate. You need a license from DGCA to operate drone in a commercial area. Pilot licensing. That yes, the pilot licensing is also there from DGCA. Then there are no flying zone. You have to respect military area, border area, strategic locations. So these area you have to airports. Airports also you cannot fly drones until unless it's an airport drone. Altitude. The maximum permissible altitude is 4,400 feet. So less than the helicopters and uh, other flying, um, aeroplanes. So 120 meters. Within 120 meters, you can fly the drones. So the first person view means you are having a camera over the drone, and you are getting the vision from the camera present on the drone. So this you can get only for recreational purposes, not, and the maximum height possible or allowed is 60 meters or 200 feet. Time of operation only in daylight. You can operate drones only in daylight, until unless it's a security drone which is operating on the airports. There is prohibition to use drones in the night. Yeah, the drones cannot be used in the night time. And safety and privacy, that whatever video it is taking, it should not make it public. The videos are only to land the drone and take some data, but not for making it public, the drone captured videos. So these are the legal frameworks, but there is a good news. In 2022 there is a good change. What is the change? That registration can be done by the manufacturer itself. So when you get a drone which is already registered, so you don't need to take the pain of registering your drone after purchasing it. So manufacturer can register it and give you the registration details after making it, no? So it is already registered. Second thing is pilot license is now abolished. So you don't need to take a license to drive a drone. Only thing, but you should have the knowledge. What are failures? What are the technical things? You should know the things, but there is no need of having a license. So license thing is avoided, but yes, the knowledge thing, you should have the knowledge to operate the drone. You don't need to get a license to drive it, but yes, you should know how to drive it and how to safely take care of the drone. There are some advantages. Yes, definitely it will, instead of vehicle, if you use a drone, definitely it will reduce carbon emission. But yes, on the other hand, we have a gasoline powered drone, but it has little lower carbon consumption. But this can be used only in the places where your regular drones or the regular drones won't be able to function. For example, mountain, islands, such difficult terrains. So, environmentally, if you start reducing the usage of road vehicles or petrol vehicles, then definitely it will reduce carbon emission in delivering the regular goods. So, this is from my side. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to share. And any questions if you have, you can ask me.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening talk. If there are any questions regarding this specific talk, you can please type in the chat box or unmute yourself to ask. I believe there are no questions as of now. Maybe we can address them at the end of the session, sir. So I now invite our second speaker, Dr. Pradeep Dwivedi, sir. Sir is additional professor at the Department of Pharmacology at our institute. He also has multiple publications and is actively involved in research. May I now invite Pradeep sir to share his views on the topic drone delivery in healthcare, hype or hope. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shiva. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. We can see it now, sir.
Okay. At the outset, on the occasion of National Doctors Day, I wish all the best to all the doctors working day and night in the country and abroad. And today I have been entrusted with a talk on drone-based delivery in healthcare, hope or hype. So COVID-19, to begin my talk with the story of COVID-19, which has taught us so many things, and it has brought the technology at the forefront of its application, particularly in healthcare sector. Giving you an example of telemedicine, see, it was really unbelievable for any expert's consultation to be available at the remotest part of the country, which telemedicine is doing day on day basis. So the COVID has prompted us to go more tech friendly and to use the technology in healthcare services. So what has happened that the telemedicine or the teleconsultation has reached to the remotest area. Now the second step was like how the diagnostic could be done. For that, a lot of point of care devices have been developed. So people in the remote area, in their homes, at their comfort, they can do the testing and share the reports. So what next? First thing, you are giving consultation. Second thing, you are making them available, comfortable with the point of care testing available for their conditions. Now what remains? Remains is the whatever the prescription you write or whatever the medical supplies you want it to be delivered at their end. And here comes the role of drones. See, any technology cannot completely change the way we handle healthcare delivery system in the country. But certainly, every technology has its like share in helping delivering healthcare technologies. So it is a very interesting editorial that was published in Lancet Hematology. Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. and it's a medical drone. So in that, the author has very beautifully elaborated the possibilities of drone and its a future, and many of the experiences it has taken from the Rwanda, one of the country where drone based this medical supplies or the this blood and blood components transport is being done through drones. So I'm going to discuss this considering five aspects. So few case studies I will be telling upon, and then why drones are important in healthcare, and what are the concerns, what are the challenges and opportunities with the drone based delivery, as well as the future of it. In 1916, Dr. Margaret Chang, ex-Director General World Health Organization, she told that drones can deliver many other health interventions. Since postpartum hemorrhage is the leading cause of maternal mortality, the life-saving potential is vast. So post-exposure treatment for rabies, snake bites are especially important, as most deaths from these conditions occur in rural areas. So she was at that time she was emphasizing the possibilities of including drone in uh, in providing the transportation services to various medical supplies. So under the case studies, there are few study that I would like to highlight. One, medicine delivery or the blood delivery in the Rwanda, then rescue operation in Canada, and one of the important study which was conducted in India, medicines from the sky. So how drones can make primary health care accessible to all. It was a study done in Telangana and in collaboration with the Niti Aayog Ministry of Health. So if we look at this case scenario where the effect of unmanned aerial vehicle drone delivery on blood products, delivery time and wastage in Rwanda, it is a country-wide experience has been put up in this article, and they have shown that the drone delivery led to the faster delivery times and the blood components wastage, less blood component wastage in health facilities. So this article emphasizes that how if drone based delivery is put in place, it can help in transferring the blood and blood components in a country where the road infrastructure is not good, and Rwanda is called as a country of thousand hills. So this technology is going to be a really remarkable in that area. Another experience was delivery of chemotherapy drugs, and it is believed that in future the delivery of chemo by drones will be an extraordinary development for cancer patient, and it will show that the NHS will not stop at anything but to ensure that people get the treatment they need as promptly as possible, and while it also cut cost and carbon emission. So the drone technology has various uh, advantages. A recent randomized controlled trial published in New England Journal of Medicine, so where they discuss that how the drone delivery of automated external defibrillator could be a life saving in many of the situations. So this article highlights the importance of timely and early delivery of AED can have tremendous outcome. Another study published in JAMA 2017 that also talks about the time to delivery of an AED using drone for simulated out of hospital cardiac arrest versus emergency medical services. So there again, it says that although it is in the initial stage of usage, it has a very potential and promising role in healthcare delivery of medical goods. So when we look at why drones in healthcare matters, so they provide emergency medical supplies during natural disasters. They deliver medicines and medical supplies to the remote regions. They have possibility of improving the patient outcomes and save lives. Uh, Drone-based delivery can reduce transportation costs and waiting times, which is seen in many of the publication that it drastically reduce the time between from hours to minutes. And the cost is something that depends upon the scale of the employment, and uh, the more drone services are being employed, the reduction in cost is seen. It can also be very useful in transport of lab sample quickly and efficiently from a remote locations. So, so these are the areas where the drone-based delivery certainly matters. So, current application of drone, if we look at it, it focuses on the medical deliveries and transport. It can also help in search, rescue, and disaster response in case of natural disasters. It can help in medical imaging diagnostic. Also, the drone-based telemedicine can be provided. Patient monitoring and disease management can also be done through drone. And there is a scope for research and development in this particular area. If we look at the current scenario of transportation of goods in the country, we often see that the supplies which are manufactured at particular center or national center is transported through trains or the airways to states, and then from in the state mostly through vans or a vehicle or through road route, it is being supplied to the district CHC, PHCs and sub-centers. So various situation that we happen to come across and where it is suitable for drone use. You can appreciate there is on 25th June this year. So because of torrential rain, there is a difficulty of people to commute. Even day before yesterday on 29th June, there was a heavy rainfall triggered massive landslide in Uttarakhand, blocking the road itself. So it's going to take time to get clear. As Dr. Jayant was telling, there could be a massive jam because of the cricket match or the movement of the VIP or so many things. So here, one of the example is that NH48 is shut down for 90 days, and you can appreciate that the Gurgaon Delhi link is being choked by the vehicle. So where one could travel in 30 minutes, now it is taking hours to reach the destination. Another perennial problem in the country is you can appreciate a bridge is formed, but on both the ends it is not connected. So not at all. These roads are very common in the rural areas of the country where the roads for vehicle movement is not there. So people have to walk kilometers together. So in our experience also we have seen that few of the tribals in Sirohi district, they have to travel some 7 to 8 kilometers to reach sub-centers or the primary health center to get the treatment. So these are the important areas in which drone-based delivery services can be done. So this is just the pictorial presentation of how a conventional delivery of vaccines could be converted into the drone-based delivery of vaccines, medicines, or any medical good. So here, few things are important that someone has to prepare the carrier box. It has to load on the drone, and then there would be takeoff of flight of the drone. And once it lands, someone other person should take out the carrier box, check for the whether the medicines, blood, vaccines are properly there or not, and then use it. So there are two kind of people, those who are involved in whole process. One is drone operator, another one is healthcare worker. So the training of both operator as well as healthcare worker is needed in order to ensure that supplies reaches in good shape where it is needed. So some of the major steps in drone-based delivery is clearance from air traffic controller regarding weather condition, availability of the carrier box component, preparation of carrier box, transportation of carrier box to take off site, carrier box loading into the drone, and all these things has to be done by the healthcare provider. And then there is a takeoff and landing, which is being controlled by the monitor drone operator. Then carrier box unloading into the drone, transportation of carrier box into the vaccination center. This is an example taken from the transportation of the vaccine at the remote sites, and the physical characterization for the integrity of whether the substances which were transported is in good shape or not. When we look at the economics of the medical drone, a recent article published in Lancet Global Health, it says that there are many reasons for lack of adoption, but perhaps the most important is the cost of acquiring and operating drones is unknown. So they conducted a study for cargo drones, which were used for various public health needs in natural disasters. So however, things are changing very fast, as Dr. Jayant told that the lighter drones are in a range of 2 to 3 lakhs, while heavier drones 15 to 20 lakhs. So certainly the costs are available and a cost calculation can be done. However, the cost effectiveness can only happen when it is done on the routine basis and a bigger scale. Nothing is without side effects. So when we look at the drones delivery, there are multiple articles which are telling what are the issues. Particularly, BMJ case report 2021 tells that drones has caused facial and ocular trauma. So this a case report was published. Apart from that, again the blinding ocular trauma caused by the remote control aerial drones are there. So these accidents uh, uh, the side effects of the drone technology. Another article published in 2019 in Lancet, that traumatic amputation caused by drone attacks in local population in Gaza. So there they also highlight that the the civilian consequences of modern warfare, and it believed is so relevant to the growing population that are being exposed to drone warfare and healthcare personnel treating these people. Now, two, three aspects are there. See, drones are being used for transporting the medical goods. Similarly, the drones could be utilized as a weapon for attacking on the healthcare profession. So that could be one of the issues that one may think of. So there are 4 steps to extend drone use in research recently published. So it has to be aligned with the regulation, and there has to be the control should be improved, and there should be the charging as well as the battery life has to be prolonged so that it would travel for a longer distance without being landing anywhere, and develop data tools in case of autonomous drones, where things could be AI based and the path and everything could be the data could be filled so that the flight is without operator, and the drone can and fly autonomously. What are the concerns with the using drone in healthcare? So there are certainly regulatory challenges and legal issues, as Dr. Jain told that with, uh, government of India had a very strict regulation on the aerial objects, but in the last 10 years it has been relaxed repeatedly. And drone rules 2021 came, and further it was amended in 2022, and he told that there is no need for pilot licensing, as well as the manufacturer itself can register the drone. So these are some of the forward step taken by the government that promotes the usage of drone in various uh, healthcare services. Apart from that, operational safety is there. So that is another concern. Privacy and security concerns are there. If loaded with the camera and if takes pictures and all, so that concern has to be looked upon again. Then there are few infrastructure requirement in case of the long flights. Where will be the charging station? If the whether the power supply is there or not, these things are to again be looked upon. Then weather dependency, noise pollution, limited payload capacity, and technology malfunctions. So these are other concerns for using drone-based delivery in healthcare. However, there are challenges, there are opportunities. So our challenge is to convince the regulators and healthcare providers of the benefit and overcoming the public perception of challenges, ensuring safety and addressing of the privacy concern, ensuring affordability and accessibility, and all this can effectively done by collaborating effectively with stakeholders. So when we look at the future developments of drone-based delivery, expansion of drone delivery networks are needed. Increased use of AI and machine learning are needed to make it more autonomous. Development of new sensor and payloads to make it more accurate in terms of the delivery of delivery and travel. Integration with the existing healthcare system is to be needed, and the most important thing is collaboration between the technology and healthcare companies are to be done. So it is not that the drone is new. The country has already taken various initiatives, and ICMR in 2017 they started ICMR drone response and outreach for Northeast, and they came up with a training module on drone based delivery of medical supplies in January 2022. So primarily focusing on separating the drone operators from the healthcare workers. So their objective is that this healthcare worker should be properly trained how to prepare the carrier box, how to load, how to unload, and how to take out for at the delivery site. Another drone based delivery was done in May 2023. So here the blood and blood related product was transported, and a very message statement was made by DG ICMR that we sent another sample through an ambulance, and if there are no differences in the sample sent using the two modes, then drones will be used all over the India. So this is something that means the future plan, and government of India is very sensitive and looking at the drone delivery in a very positive and open manner. So technology is going to be the very close partner of healthcare delivery or healthcare services. Another program, which was Medicines from the Sky, was launched on 15th August 2022. And this and the Medicines from the Sky in Telangana, they both were the government-led program, and it has a partner of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Niti Aayog, and World Economic Forum. So they all joined hand to ensure that the healthcare goods are delivered to the remotest area and last mile delivery of health services to ensure, or universal health coverage to ensure, these initiatives are being done. Uh, in February, AIIMS Rishikesh also piloted with the drone, and they delivered TB drugs during a trial in Uttarakhand. So it was a 40 kilometers apart site. So mountainous site, which ideally should have been covered in 3 to 4 hours, which was delivered in 30 minutes. So this again became the national news. There is a big like health ministry during COVID-19 drone-based COVID-19 vaccine delivery, and it was done in partnering with the IIT Kanpur. And on the right side, you can see that medicines from the sky, India, how drones can and make primary healthcare accessible to all. They have submitted the report also. So a lot of things are happening around, and even the government is supporting uh, production linked incentive schemes for drones and drone components. So people and companies involved in production of drones or drone products are being supported financially by the government of India. So this Rwandan experience, so it was a paradigm shift. So Rwandan medical supply chain network, it was a paradigm shift in the delivery of medical goods in the remote area. So this could only happen because the Rwandan government and the country as a whole seem to be taking ownership and won't let a lack of infrastructure stop them from leapfrogging the rest of the world in terms of technology adoption and capability. So I think that when government take a firm stand and people unite uh, to achieve a task, certain dramatic changes like this happen. So, in the conclusion, drones are a promising technology in healthcare. Although the regulatory and safety challenges are there, uh, and that can be addressed with the passage of time, they have a potential to improve, certainly improve the patient outcome, and the collaboration and innovations are the key to unlocking the full potential of drones in healthcare. So, so some of the references and the disclaimer is none of the pic which I have posted here uh, is mine, and it has been taken from various web pages. So thank you for listening. And if you have any question, I may be happy to answer.
Thank you so much, sir. So if there are any questions from the audience, they can unmute themselves or they can type in the chat box and we'll be happy to address them.
So there are few messages in the chat box. Why we making only quadricopters drone? Instead, we can design gliding drones. Propellers are also there with launching pads like Zipline Company, offering successful remote medical delivery services in African countries like Rwanda and Ghana. So speed is 100 kilometers per hour achieved in zero point 0.3 second. Operating range is more than 80 kilometers. Payload up to 2 kg. Uh, so So one of the audience is telling specifically asking about why the quadricopters drones are there in places of the gliding drones. I think Dr. Jayant may answer it. Dr. Jayant, are you there?
Sir, we may have got disconnected actually to some network issues, sir, probably.
So I think that the various models of the drone, whether this gliding type or quadricopter and all these, I think these are the technical advantages, technical aspects which may improve with the time based on the uh, based on the availability of technology, making it more uh, flying, uh, like increasing the flight time, and then could increase the payload because 1.75 kg payload is very less, and and We are looking for heavier payloads, because at one flight you would like something 3-4 kgs to be transported from one side to the other side. So although I am not very expert in this area, that what quadricopters or various different designs of drones are there, what they are capable of, or in terms of their flying time and the speed. I think that technology is changing fast, and certainly, uh, certainly it will be a useful tool in delivering medical goods to the people. So I think that drones are going to be a truly game changer in case of home-based care. So you have now telemedicine has reached to the remotest area. Now the point of care devices are there. So one can do the testing, one can get seen by the doctors. What one needs is the delivery of medicines or essential goods. So I think that with incorporation of drone-based delivery, uh, this will be a truly home-based care, and it will certainly reduce the burden of footfall in the tertiary care, because means for common conditions. So I think that with telemedicine, with POCT, with drone, we can certainly in future reduce the load on the hospital, and even a reduction of 15 to 20% footfall in the hospitals will do a tremendous change. So in that light, I think that it's a very good initiative, mm, and if you have any other question, I may answer pertaining to medical side. If
Sir, since there are no more questions, I think from the audience side, you can also contact Dr. Jayant and Dr. Pradeep sir individually through emails and connect to them at a later date. So, sir, may I take this opportunity again to thank both the speakers on behalf of the state chapter of Rajasthan, NAMS state chapter, and it was a very good talk. We discussed the technical aspects of drone delivery in healthcare, and we also got to know how drone delivery, rather than be it is less of a sensation, and actually it has practical applications in the medical side. And it is good to know, sir, that there are multiple support opportunities being provided by the government also. And I'm thinking that maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, this will catch up in a big way and maybe become one of the primary means of providing healthcare. So I thank all the esteemed faculty members and colleagues who had joined us for this talk. And I thank the speakers, Dr. Jayant and Dr. Pradeep sir, for enlightening us with their knowledge today. So with this, we'll wind up the meeting today. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
thank you.